Praise the Lord, saints. um, I'm grateful to be here. First, I would like to thank Jeremiah for bringing me here. I ain't gonna be too long. I'm just gonna give y'all a little information about most of the stuff that I do in my live situations. So, one of the main things that was a big problem for me was the fact that a lot of times I would go out with the artist and, maybe sometimes we can't afford to bring a full piece band, or maybe somebody was running late or anything of that nature. And I always want to be prepared at all times. And a lot of times people would be like, well, you can just put the bass in the track, but a lot of times that don't always work, because maybe you're dealing with a sound man that ain't gonna really give you the low end of the track, and we still sounding thin up there with just me and the drummer. So my biggest thing is Ableton. So Ableton, I don't track in Ableton. The most thing I do in Ableton would probably be to use the stuff in a live situation. So with that being said, so the thing that I do to pretty much still get my full sound and still running tracks at the same time is pretty much pushing everything out in a different output. So in order for this to happen, like even if, like now, I left my multiple output interface at home, but I got an interface here where it only has two outputs. So even if I get there and we don't have a bass player, I figured out a way to where I can route the bass out of one of the outputs on the interface into the bass rig, and then the rest of everything is going into the house. Okay, so I'm pretty much gonna kind of show y'all. This is one of the songs for one of the artists I play for. His name is Patrick Bean, and he has a song called All Right. So what I did was I took the bass file from the actual song, and I pretty much put it in my Ableton session and routed it out to where it's playing it by itself. So even if we on stage, it's gonna feel like the bass player is still there. So let me see if I can play it. So here you go. As y'all can see, it's coming out the bass and it's still sound full. Feel like the bass player is still here, and everything else is still going into the stem. So that's the stem. Yeah, and the bass player by itself. Sound full, but if I switch it and now y'all like, okay, well, I can just put that straight in the track, it's gonna be a whole different. So I'm gonna play it where it's just coming straight to the system, and I just got the bass in the track. Put that in one. So this is everything just coming through the system. You can't feel the bass. About to turn it up. That's it coming through the system. But back to the bass rig. Yeah, that's my bass player, Miz Brown, by the way. So it makes a difference. Like I know it may be a lot of work. I'm like, oh, I gotta pay attention to this and everything. But thing about me is I think ahead. So with this song, I'm dealing with an artist that likes to have their vamp open. So if I do that, I done played with him enough times to know exactly where he gonna go. So what I'm probably gonna do is later down the line, I haven't done this yet, is like we got a few shows where we went somewhere and they had multi-track for everything, and I multi-tracked the band, and I'll just take his bass file and put it in my session for the extra stuff that I know he'll do. So I'll still have the same effect even if the track run out and I still got everything else. Like, cause at the end of this song, he normally goes to a quartet field. So, any questions before I move on? Going once? No questions at all? Going twice? All right. So, matter of fact, let me show y'all another example of this. So there's another artist that I play for. His name is Rajon McCoy. He's actually my cousin, and he has a song as well. So he's the one that pretty much made me start doing this. Where if we don't have a bass player, because a lot of times we was going somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, we can just take a two piece and it will be good." And I'm just like, "Okay, it's just me and the drummer. What are we gonna do?" And a lot of times I get there and I'm like, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" They don't have a keyboard play. They don't have a keyboard. They just got an organ. Guess what I did? I put the keys in here, and with my interface, I'm able to route everything out. So if it end up being a motif or something like that, or y'all know we got the AD switch on the back of the motif, and I can just plug it straight in there, and it's still coming through the keys line. So this is another one I got. Let me see. This song is called "You Shall Live." This song is actually out. If I'm on organ, all I gotta do is lay the bed. No, it's still the same thing. So that's another song where I was doing it. So another thing that I pretty much want to talk about is I'm big. I'm one of the musicians that's big on moments. Like moments are very. Sorry about that, y'all. Moments are very important to me. Like sounds make a difference. The sounds you use, the chords you play, gonna make a difference. So like a few of y'all seen the concert that I did in Arkansas where the guy Ricky Ash was up and he was just singing, and a lot of people asked me, they was like, "Man, did y'all rehearse that?" No, that was in the moment, and they was like, "Okay, how can you teach me to do that?" If it's in church, the most important thing is you got to have a relationship with God outside of this instrument. I can't just do that and teach somebody, "Oh, I can teach you the same chords." It ain't gonna make no difference if you ain't got no relationship with God, because God gonna look at you and like, "Okay, you playing that, but I can't help you because I don't know you." That's just like you you meeting somebody for the first time and you saying, "Okay, give me a kiss." Wait, who are you? I ain't got no relationship with you. So it's important. Like it's important as a church musician. for you to fast, for you to pray, for you to seek God, for you to pay your tithes. Like that's all that makes a difference. It's important. It's very important, and I can't preach that. I'm not trying to be a preacher now, but I live by that. I live by that. So I'm pretty much gonna kind of show y'all like how like I kind of go through different moments because each time I'm sitting there, I'm just like, okay, God, what do you want me to play? What do you want me to play?
I had a quick question.
Mm-hmm. So following the MD is highly important. Like I done seen people not get calls back because they don't know how to follow. Following is very important. Now, I will say a lot of times you won't have a talk back. So if you this is somebody you never played with before, you're going to have to kind of know how they move within the first few seconds. So me, if it's somebody I've never played with before, I'm going to move slower than what I normally would because I want to make sure everybody is on the same pace. Like if I'm playing with my church band, of course I'm gonna be like, okay, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna move that fast. But if it's somebody I never played with before, I'm like, okay, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna do it at the pace that I want to do, and then I'm gonna play it. Even though that's kind of putting me behind with whoever got the mic, but as long as I got to keep the unit on the same page because if the unit not on the same page, whoever got the mic gonna look back and like, okay, what is y'all doing? And don't let it be my pastor because he's good for saying it. Like he done stopped service before and told us like y'all off, y'all need to get it together. I'll do it without music. So that's very important. So if you're the MD and you got a band that you never played with before, you gotta make sure everybody is on the same page before you even when you call it out. If you calling it out at the speed, you gotta call it out at the speed that you want. You gotta call it out exactly how you want it. And a lot of times I'll sing the line just to make sure. Like I ain't the best singer, but I'm gonna sing it to make sure we on point. Any more questions concerning that?
And as a let's say the flip side, as a drummer, and let's say the the keyboard player or organist is not communicating, not throwing hand signals, not moving her head, what should a drummer do? And if he's trying to follow and everything is just random, and so what in the drummer's perspective, what should a drummer do to keep the confusion down?
Communicate. Like I done seen drummers get off the drums and tap them like, "Hey man, you gotta let me know where we going." So if you don't communicate it, y'all gonna go down in flames because at the end of the day, they probably gonna look at the drummer anyway because he's the one that's missing the hits. So if it's not working, like I would even advise getting off the drums and say, "Hey, you gotta let me know where you're going," and then getting back on the drums and say, "Okay, let's make this work." Make sense? Anything else? I'm an open book, so that's what I'm here for. So, so I got so the concert I did in Arkansas. Um, I multi-tracked everything. So I got a moment on here now where my brother Ricky Ash, he was pretty much just exhorting, and I'm just gonna show you the wrong way to do it, and I'm gonna show you the right way to do it. I'm gonna show you like how, like pretty much like okay, I'm listening for this moment. Let me see where I can build up from. And even if you're doing like simple stuff, but again, like even if you don't have a relationship with God, like that's something that you gotta go home and say, okay, God, I need you to tell me which way I need to go for this. Like me personally, like I host a lot of events, and then there's times where I'm the MD for certain events. Me as a musician, I make sure I fast before those events because I want God to be able. I want to be able to hear God clearly. So before I did this event, I fast for it, and that way, that's why like certain moments, like even with me just playing simple stuff, like it was just like okay, he's playing that simple, but God is honoring it because of what I did prior to it. I prepped myself spiritually for it. So this is what he did.
Don't mind waiting. Yeah. Don't mind waiting. God, I will wait on you till you come down on earth. God, bring heaven here. God, bring heaven here. Bring heaven here. God, we will wait on your word. We will wait on your promise. We will wait on your understanding. God, we will wait on your instructions. We will wait on your instructions. We will wait on your instructions. We will wait on your instructions.
So it's a lot of different ways I can go for this. Like I can be full or I can play it open. So lately I've been in this mode where I've been leaving space and leaving it open just so I can see where they're going or so they can have more room to shine on the mic. Because that's something us as musicians got bad. Like, it's not knocking any other instrument, but organists definitely got it bad. Because as an organist, we see an open spot, we finna drop out the sky. But sometimes it's better to leave it open. I preach that, and I play with a lot of musicians that can do a lot of different stuff that I can't even dream of doing. But they respect me in the MD role when I tell them leave it open. But there's going to be times where I'm going to be like, okay, you got the green light, go ahead. Like I'm just going to let you go. But it's all about in the moment. So let me show y'all the different ways I probably would have approached this.
Don't mind waiting. Yeah. Don't mind waiting. God, I will wait on you till you come down on earth. God, bring heaven here. God, bring heaven here. Bring heaven here. God, we will wait on your word. We will wait on your promise. We will wait on your understanding. God, we will wait on your instructions. 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 We will wait on your promise. God, because your promises are yes and amen. 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 Because God, we will wait on your word. 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 We will wait. We will wait. We will wait. And we will wait. Don't.
So that's just me pretty much feeling my way through it. Can y'all feel the difference? Okay, that's why I said sounds make a difference. So if I just do that with just straight piano.
Don't mind waiting. Yeah. Don't mind waiting. God, I will wait on you till you come down on earth. God, bring heaven here.
It's
God,
there,
bring
but
heaven
it's not
here.
there like we
Bring
would.
heaven here. God, we will wait on your word. We will wait on your promise. We will wait on your understanding. God, we will wait on your instructions. 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 We will wait on your promise. God, because your promises are yes and amen. Your promises are yes and amen. Your promises are yes and amen. Your promises
But you just gotta make sure, like, if I do something like that, I'm gonna make sure they're not singing anything. Like, if they're singing, I gotta stay where they at. But sometimes I will drift over if it depends on the note that they're singing. So if he's just riding on this one, like when he was here, like if he's just saying that, I'm probably gonna. And then he probably gonna shift with me. Y'all got it? Any questions?
So I don't know if you touched on this already, but how is it like how important is it to know your board? Because a lot of people can do that, like you said, on just piano, but they can't do that, on with any other sounds because they don't know their board.
It's very important to know your board. Like, so I wish I would have brought it. So I have a Roland Phantom, and pretty much the way the board is set up, it got a lot of different scenes. Where in the scenes you can add as many sounds as you want. So I got scenes set for different situations, like if it's church, if it's worship, if it's country, rock, R&B, it doesn't matter. I just make sure I set those sounds and I already know where I'm going. So anytime you get a keyboard, you need to make sure you go through and just go through it. Like most of the time, if I'm going out with somebody, I ask them, like, can you find out what kind of keyboard they got? So if I need to do my homework while I'm at home to make sure that I'm comfortable and the artist that I'm playing for is comfortable, then I can do that before I get there. But let's say I don't have time to, or they don't give me the information at the time, and I get there and it's a board that I don't know. I always get to, if I'm going to play for someone, I always try to get there at least an hour early. Just so like I can go up there and see, like, okay, I see what they got here. That's a keyword I don't know. Let me look it up. Or let me go sit with it before service starts so I can see where I'm going. Or let's say they ain't got tracks, or they ain't got a direct box. I'm gonna have a direct box in my book bag. Like, you gotta make sure you're always ready, because at the end of the day, these artists, they don't be knowing what a direct box is. They don't care about that. They just want to hear their tracks. And they gonna look at you, why you not ready? Why you not ready? And I used to think, like, dang, why they blaming me? And it ain't my fault. It is your fault. They hiring you to do a job. You're supposed to make sure that they sound good at all costs. And that's what's going to keep you getting calls. Like, a few of these people, I've been playing it for them for years. And it's been people that they could have called to do the job. It's been people that sub for me that's 10 times better than me. But they was like, I got to stick with Jay because I know he going to make sure I'm good. He's going to always make sure I'm good. Like, for an example, my pastor, I make sure, like, that's first priority. Home is always first priority for me. So there was a situation where my Little Rock concert was on the same day. He had to preach in Mobile, Alabama. So he already knew I wasn't going to be able to go with him because I had this concert for my tour. So me, any recognition, they was like, okay, I ain't got to go, so that's it. No, that's still my responsibility. So what did I do? I reached out to the musicians down there. I was like, hey, my pastor's coming to preach. I just want to make sure y'all good. Like, if he do this, make sure you do this. And if he bump, here's a few stems that I know he'll like. And then when he get there, he like, hey, he still made sure I was good, even though he wasn't here. Like, people think about stuff like that. That makes you irreplaceable. Does that answer your question? Okay, any more questions?
When you were exalting, how do you know when to switch from the major to the minor? When it goes to the deep, well, I don't want to call it deep, but when it gets to the dramatic, which as we call the minor chords, right. How do you know when to switch it from that?
So that's with them singing or without them singing?
Without.
Excuse me. For me, I'm doing two things. Like, if they're not singing, I'm listening for God, and at the same time, I'm paying attention to where I'm at on the scale. So if if I'm doing and I'm steady holding on that one, I'll hear the Holy Ghost say, switch back. And I'll be like, okay, what you got me doing? But the actual first time I've ever done that with a key switch, you can feel like it was like a wind had came in the church, and it was just like, wait, what just happened here? And then I go back, but I can't do that with everybody. Like certain people I've done that behind, they like, that's not my sound. What you mean that's not your sound? That's not my sound. But you got to understand, you can't do everything behind everybody because it's not gonna fit. Like it may fit for certain people, but certain people, that's not the. I'm saying that what you're doing is not anointed, or it won't get somebody breakthrough. But the person that has that mic, it doesn't fit for them. Like they may like. And you trying to get them, they gonna be like, no, that's not my sound. And then once you hit they sound, I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like I was doing that. That don't work with everybody. Like the guy Andre Simmons, like that works for him. Like him, me doing that and doing, that's his sound. It's still prophetic, but it's just his sound. Yeah. That's his sound. But somebody else, like an old school prophetic person, they'll probably be like, give me that. Now how can I build off this if they not singing? Still do the same move. So you can still put your feel in it, but you got to do it in the feel of whoever got the mic. Did that answer it, or did I drift too far off? Use the mic, preacher.
All right. So let's say you are following them or whatever, but you know, sometimes when you're in worship, it calls for certain stuff. But like you said, they said it's not their sound. But what if that's the sound that God wants at that moment? So what do you do then? Like, I mean, if He want that sound and you're getting results, like from you going to that sound, you getting results where somebody getting a deliverance, or versus trying to be where the leader wants you to be. So it's like you have to. I would say you have to most so go with what God, the Spirit is leading you to do, versus that at that moment. What you think?
You're a pastor, right? That's the pastor, right?
No. It's one of them.
So he can attest to this. God will never put you over the head. So if the head has the mic and the head is going this way, you got to go with what the head.
I'm talking about it's for like a leader, like not the pastor, because of course you got to follow the pastor, like a praise team leader or something like that.
You still got to follow whoever got that mic. So what I do is I've built a relationship with every single person on my church's praise team, to the point now they don't want to sing without me, because I built a relationship with them outside of church. So I may reach out to them and say, hey man, how you doing? Like, hey, I got this idea. What you think it is? Like, cause Thursday. So this is Thursday. So Thursday we're at church. We're actually Wednesday. We're prepping for Thursday, trying to see what songs we want to sing. So I end up being in the group chat with two of the singers. One of the singers, she's the president of the praise team, and she says, "Okay, let's do Faithful Is Our God." I said, "Okay, I really don't want to do. I don't want to do this old song. do this old song. So how can I put me in the old song? So I said, hey, y'all, I got an idea for this song. Are y'all open to it? Like, at that point, you want to put your sound on them and do the sound that you're hearing. So you got to put yourself in the most humblest way. So they'll be like, okay, let me see where you're going. Like, it's always important. You got to be humble about it. You can't do it like, oh, I got this idea and I want y'all to do it. No, they're going to be like, who are you talking to? So I told them, I was like, okay, I got this idea. I went to my keyboard. I rearranged the song. We did not rehearse the song. And I sent them the scratch that I had, and I was like, this is how we're going to start the song. And I coached the band through it right before we started the song. And this is what we came up with. I'm not going to play the background vocals. I'm just going to play the lead. Hold on. Because it's picking up that bass read. Jeremiah, how much time I got? Okay. So this is what came out. I'm trying to get it where it don't come through the bass read. I want the bass player to do the bass read. I'm still doing routing, y'all.
How many know that we serve a faithful God? Come on, if you know that we serve a faithful God, you ought to put those hands together like this.
And he just started flooring with it.
Come on, put those hands together.
It's all on the spot.
Faithful, faithful, faithful is our God.
All on the spot. It's a different feel.
Faithful, faithful, faithful is our God. Oh, faithful, faithful, faithful is our God. Faithful.
Next part.
Faithful is our God. I'm reaping the harvest God promised me.
It's all on the spot.
Back what the devil spoke.
But at the same time, I'm still listening for the Holy Ghost to pretty much put in my ear, okay, this is what I want y'all to do next. But I'm still following him at the same time.
From me, and I rejoice today. For I shall recover it all. Yes, I rejoice.
So I gave him the top idea of the song, and then once we got to the back,
For I shall recover it all. Now come on, clap those hands. Lift your voice and say, oh. Come on, say righteous. He's righteous. Righteousness. Lift your voice and say righteous. He's righteous. Righteousness. Come on, let's. I'm reaping the harvest God. Take back what the devil. I'm reaping the harvest God.
and when we got to this part, I heard the Holy Ghost tell me, build it.
I'm reaping the harvest God.
Feel the difference?
Back what the devil stole. I'm reaping the harvest God. Take back what the devil stole.
So let me go down a little further so y'all can see what we went to.
I'm reaping the harvest God.
So I'm finna flip it.
I'm reaping
So y'all see the field that we in now. So the field that I'm finna flip into, it don't make sense, but because I got a relationship with him, he gonna trust where I'm going. Like he's even told me out of his mouth, he's like, "Hey, I don't trust too many people, but wherever you go, I'm gonna go where you gonna go, cause it's gonna make sense." And I had to build that trust with him. So I went here. We still right here. See, he went with me. That's him still trusting me. Now this goes back to what you said about following. I had to figure out a way. How can I play what I'm hearing as something that I've never played? I never played that before, and being able to guide my band where I'm going. So I got to be able to hear where we're going next. So what I did was I said, okay, everybody drop out, just me. Give me cymbals. And then as I'm playing it, I'm calling it out. 1, 2, 3. Now I ask them, I say, you got it? And I make sure they got it before I move on. Any more questions?
How do you deal with like people that rebel? Because you can feel that in the spirit. If it's singers or musicians, drummers, and you're playing and you can feel them pulling on you, and you're trying to go this way, but they're like forcing it another way.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
Hey, I said cymbals. No, I'm so serious. Like I will yell at you in the talkback if you don't do what I said, because they I'm sorry. No, because like if they put you in that, whoever put you in that leadership role, they're expecting you to get the job done. And if they feel like they're gonna be able to push over you, I'm like, oh, you ain't getting the job done. What we need you for? If they pushing over you, I will yell in that talkback, and I promise you, like, that's why a lot of times if y'all watch some of my live streams, I may turn my talkback off because I'm going off. So it's all about you gotta earn that respect too at the same time. But at the same time, they gotta want to give you that respect, because if not, you're fired. Amen. And yeah, while I'm on it doesn't matter if they're the keyboard player, they're the drummer, if they're the bass player. If they have that MD role, give them that respect, no matter what instrument they on. Because I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, that's just a drummer. But the drummer is the MD. You got to follow the drummer. I done been in situations before like that, because you never know, you respecting that person, and then what if it's flipped and this person you call that person for another gig, and you the MD, now they going to give you the same treatment you gave them. And it's been like that for a while. And I got, even though I'm not the actual minister of music of my church, the actual MD, the actual minister of music gave me the authority over the stage. So anything that happens on the stage goes through me. And if I'm not doing my job, he gonna cuss me out. And I'm not trying to get cussed out. So, but at the same time, he was like, should nobody be calling nothing out unless it goes through you? And I make sure that I still, give them the freedom, because everybody that's on that stage has the capability of leading. So I still say, hey, bro, I ain't got nothing. Do you hear something? So that's still me gaining trust with them for them to trust me to lead them. Anything else?
And just another segue question to go to the next point. in which everybody know about your praise breaks and the stems. That's like one of your famous things across the world globally. How do you segue, or what stems do you use to segue from exalting? When you're riding on the cymbals, you calling out the hits to the praise break. How do you go from that to that? And I understand you're going about God, but what stems are you using, or you're just using keys to get to one step to the next?
Majority of the time, sorry about that, y'all. Majority of the time, I'm using keys to get where I'm going. And when I first started coming out with these stems, I used to come out the gate playing every single stem that I had in this session. And somebody had to pull me to the side. I'm like, hey, bro, like, you can't just come out the gate. Matter of fact, it was my minister music. He told me, he was like, you can't just come out the gate using the stems. You got to, like I said, you got to leave room open for everything else. Because if all you hear is stem, what is y'all playing? So I had to get to the point where I was like, okay, let me pick and choose the spots where I want to start with stems. I want to put my stems in, because a lot of times now, you won't hear me play any stems until it gets to, like, until the bump get good. Matter of fact, I'll do this so I won't have to. So I'm going to use the concert from Arkansas. So when we first started off, and then a lot of times the stems can get in the way. And there's a few of, I'm just going to say, I have a few little homies that I had to tell this the same thing. And I've sat in services with them, and some of them are drummers. And I tell them, like, hey, you can't play that minor stem, and they singing major. They singing something major. You playing a minor synth stem, and it's not gonna work. And I told them, you got to pay more attention. And then whoever is your MD, they got to be able to tell you, like, hey, bro, that don't fit. Because as I know from experience, drummers tend to not listen to what the keyboard player is playing if y'all running stems. So you have to pay attention, because it got to match. Come on, hold up.
While you pulling it up, what are the two laptops for? Because we see you have two different ones. I'm not sure if you went over that already.
I didn't. So this is actually, I use this laptop for stems and stems only. I don't use this laptop for nothing else, because it's actually probably on this last leg right now. As you can see, like, the bottom is coming off. So I keep it like, wherever it's at. Like, I only pull this laptop out if I'm going out to go play, or if I'm going to my church. That's what you see this for. And this laptop was actually a gift by my brother Russell Harris Jr. Thank you, Russ. And I use this laptop to pretty much track my stuff. Pretty much, if I'm mixing, if I'm editing my videos, I do all that on this computer, because I know it can handle it. If I put that on here, this computer finna go before it's time to go. And at my church, so I'm using this computer to run my stems, and then in the back, I got this computer running, recording the whole service, because some stuff I be wanting to go back and, let me see what we did. So that's actually, if y'all seen the video that I posted with my band rehearsal, I was recording on this computer in the back, and then I had my camera set up. I have it ain't like major scale camera, but it get the job done. It's a Sony. Yep, you in there? Come on. It's a Sony camera, and I pretty much have this set up. And then once I go and back to the crib and mix everything, I just line the video up to the camera, because I got to the point now. I was talking to Jeremiah about this. I think it was yesterday. I said, the most important thing when you're posting content is how the video looks and how it sounds. That's what's gonna get people to click on the video. Because if it's super clean, they can like, wait, let me click on this video, and then even if they just click on it, that's gonna make them want to follow you because they gonna want to see. Wait, I need some more of this. Like, I need to follow him.
What's the price range on that camera? Where can we find it?
This is a $600 camera. I bought this camera from Best Buy, and it's pretty much like them other. I don't know if I got a Sony A7 too. It's like them, but it's like a really more reasonable price, and it's smaller. So it give you the same quality as them. It's just a smaller camera. But the battery is trash because I got to keep it on the charger the whole time while I'm recording.
So last question. Basically, you don't have anything hooked up to your camera. You just recording.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
then once I put it in CapCut, I line the files, the whatever MP3 wave that I bounce out from me mixing it, and I line it up to where under the video, so it could be lined up. And then the audio that's coming from that camera, I just completely delete that. I don't even use it at all. But sometimes I will, just to give it the sound of the room, but it depends on what I'm recording. So I think I got like 5 minutes. Let me see. This is a perfect example. So he pretty much said, how do I build up to the moments like that? So in this moment, Jahari had the mic, and he was kind of he was singing a song, and I'm gonna kind of let y'all just pretty much hear how he went from there, and I just end up bringing the loop in. Oh, that's too far in. Too far in. He's singing a worship song.
He'll fight your battle.
That's me leaving it open.
He'll fight your battle. Just lean over, encourage your neighbor, tell him, he'll fight your battle. If you will only trust him. Trust him.
I'll turn the talkback mic on too.
Keep on trusting. I will
He
trust
switched to a church song.
in the Lord. I will trust. Woo! In the Lord. Hey! I will trust.
6-6.
Great moment.
2, 5, 4. Hey. 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 1, 1.
Creating a moment.
Tell somebody I'ma trust him. Tell somebody I'ma trust him.
Yo, retard. Ba, 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 3.
Tell somebody I'm gonna trust him. I may not understand him, but I'm gonna trust him. I may not see it right now, but I'm gonna.
Up.
I'm gonna trust him.
3, 4.
Let me go a little further here.
I know the rest of it.
Up, up, 5. Yo, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1.
Tell somebody I'm gonna keep trusting him.
And I start the loop.
Trusting him. I'm gonna keep trusting him. I'm gonna keep trusting him. He ain't never failed me yet.
So we build up to it.
I'm gonna keep on trusting him.
all the vocals, so you can pretty much see like when I actually brought the stems in. Hold on, where is it? So we was churching for a good while before I brought the stems in. Oh, yeah.
Yo, Jalen.
Giving it room. That's still giving it room.
Yo, 3, 4, 5, 2, 5. One. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Hey, this was skinny. Yo, 4, 3, 4.
So this when I actually started bringing the stems in. So we got right here. So we have been churching for at least about 5 minutes already. But I'm sneaking them in. I ain't just pushing them out there. I'm building up
3,
to
4,
it.
5. 3, 4, 5. Yo, break. 3, 4, 5.
I'm not just pushing the stems in, so I made it where this is the perfect example. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Music and anything music should tell a story, especially if nobody's singing right there. Like, make the stems tell a story. So pretty much we was just right here, and when I told them,
Yo, break.
it was like it was the end of the chapter, and we was going into the next story.
Yo, break.
Like we doing the break.
3, 4, 5.
And then I was talking to you about this yesterday. I think I'm gonna be done after this. Unless y'all got a question. We was talking about like this different speeds, and I said everything got to make sense. It got to be in the moment. So it felt like when I did the speed change right here, it felt like we was finna go to another level, but we was finna come out at the same time. So I wanted to go out with a bigger bang to make it give a little bit more hump to it. That's why I said like it's better to start the bump off slow, in my opinion, because you won't have to rush the bump. Like the bump is at a pace, and everybody can dance. The old people can dance, the kids can dance, everybody. But if everybody going 10 toes in, then they ain't got no room. They ain't got nowhere to go. Nah, that ain't it. It's right here.
Yo, I'm gonna switch to BPM.
And I warned my drummer first because I didn't want them, and I had to make it make sense because they was already playing at the slow beat. So that's why I told them, you finna hear something.
I definitely feel bad. Yo, I'm gonna switch to BPM. Right. Victory.
Now-
163. Ooh.
Y'all felt that, right? Y'all felt the chill? That's how it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to feel like, okay, we just went somewhere. Like, that thing still got oil on it. So, and then I made sure everybody broke together as a band, so it didn't sound like it just, like you just placed it in there. Everybody broke together.
Yo, I'm gonna switch to BPM. Right. Victory. 163. Ooh, drive. Yo, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that man is crazy. Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty much, like, everything about me is all about a moment. Like, I'm big on moments. So, any more questions before Jeremiah kicking me out?
I think the question that everybody wants to know is who gonna get that Ableton session?
Okay. Oh wait, look, the person that wanted the most. Look, they ain't even in here. Okay, I'm gonna wait till he come back because whoever gonna get it gonna have to answer the question. And it's gonna be something that I've been. It's gonna be one of the things. Nah, I ain't even gonna give you no hint. I'm gonna wait till he come back in. We're gonna wait for him to come back in. So, another. While I'm waiting on him because I know my time is up. So what I like to do is remix stuff, like even my own stuff. I like to remix. So I'm just gonna let y'all hear something that I'm pretty much gonna do on my next tour date for my album release. I'm gonna be in Chicago on June 30th, and the band is gonna open the service like this. So I flipped the end of one of my songs, and we're gonna be open the service with this. But while we playing this, somebody's gonna be praying. So, and I wanted to get to the key of the next song, the key of the first song of the night. So what I did was I took the song and I chopped it up, and I did some key changes in it. So when we get to the song, the first song of the night, we'll be good. Wait, let me do this first, because it'll make more sense if I did this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. Who's all participating in the Ableton session? Raise your hand. No, I'm for real. If you participating, raise your hand. We only got 2 people. Okay, if you participating, come in and bring your phone up here. So I'm gonna ask 2 questions. What is the name of my first album? You better make sure it's your final answer. You don't get one try. Not on your watch. Look, he trying to look on his watch. Say, look, I told you, y'all ain't ready. Hold on.
Is mighty, and he is a worthy Father. He is our mighty fortress. He is our corner. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Give it to you right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Hallelujah.
You ain't got the answer? Dang, that's crazy. I guess I gotta ask another question. Okay, I ask another question. You gotta raise your hand, act like we in school. What is the name of the artist that I play for in Arkansas? And I said it. Hmm? Hmm? Hey, don't nobody want this session. Look, nope. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all phones. I'm gonna give y'all phones. You better hurry up and get your phone. Who was the artist that I played for in Arkansas? Mm-mm. 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 So okay, so here this is the end of my song "God Will Pull Us Through," and we're opening the concert with this. On nope, we're opening the concert with this at the end of June. So this is how it's gonna switch. So I did some key changes to match the first song we were gonna do. So that's how we're gonna come out. Somebody got it already. I did that wrong. Hold on. And then we're gonna be into the first song. You got my session already. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get it to both of y'all. I just said I'm gonna give it to both of y'all. Look, he still ain't heard it. He still ain't heard me. I just said I'm gonna give it to both of y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm done. Take me back home. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back soon, or maybe.
All right, y'all, give me a hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna post everything, and then I'll make sure I send it to y'all, and I send it to Jeremiah in Chicago.